Esther Angulu, Social Inclusion Officer, Save the Children. Miriam Eliaku, the Social Inclusion Specialist from Save the Children, all in absentia. I'm sure they're on their way here. It's probably traffic or something. Disability rights advocates here present, members of the Joint National Association of People with Disabilities, ladies and gentlemen of the press, every one of you, you're welcome. I appreciate everyone for working with us through the journey of ensuring that different spaces are made accessible and inclusive for persons with disabilities. Your commitment towards disability inclusion are appreciated and valued. The Inclusive Friends Association, with support from Save the Children and Action Against Hunger, Child Development Grant Program, embarked on this situation analysis to collect evidence on the inclusion and participation of persons with disabilities in social protection policies, programs, and processes in Nigeria. This is conducted across 4 states: Jigawa, Kaduna, Kano, and Zamfara states. Poverty is widespread and deepening in Nigeria. 51% of the population, that's about over 1 million persons, live in extreme poverty in Nigeria. This clearly makes a case for social protection programs to reduce the shocks that citizens will be exposed to. This is particularly crucial for persons with disabilities, whose literacy rate for youth with disabilities are 30% compared to 65% of youths without disabilities. 63% of adults with disabilities are unemployed, and 30% of out-of-school children are those with disabilities. Now, our findings. As at the time of this report, 5.7 million persons are in the NSR as of December 31st, 2020. 4.8% of these numbers, making up an estimate of about 274,000, are persons with disabilities. At the state level, only 10% of PWDs and their leaders are aware of the social register. The remaining are not aware of it. In both the national and state programs, one missing piece is lack of provision for disability extra costs. I'm sure some of you are aware what this is. Disability extra cost. What is it's the ideal cost for an individual will cost double or triple for a person with disability. Nevertheless, across the 4 states, persons with disabilities and leaders of organizations of persons with disabilities applauded few among social protection programs. In Jigawa, Kano State, Kaduna, there are existing disability laws, and Zamfara State laws are at the legislative stages. Both Jigawa and Kano disability laws make adequate provision for employment, economic empowerment, education, and prohibition discrimination, etc. 95% of the organizations of people with disabilities indicated that they have no access to environments where state office coordinator units, that's the SOCO, conducted focus group discussions. Action stakeholders ought to take to close the exclusion gaps in social protection. To strengthen the data instruments and methodologies at the NASCO to be disability inclusive. It is strongly recommended that the data instruments used by NASCO for the social register be revised to capture and mainstream disability data and possibly disability needs, rather than holding a separate disability data collection process. However, this latter suggestion can be adopted at first to increase the enrollment of PWDs into the social register or for specific disability social protection grants. To increase institutional capacities of OPDs on social protection, part of our recommendation. OPDs have a significant role to play in making sure that the social protection system is disability inclusive. There is need for development partners, governments, and leading national organizations of people with disabilities to collectively build capacity of other OPDs at state level to understand what is and how social protection works. It should also include building their capacity to monitor and evaluate social protection programs that will help them to conduct shadow reports to better support government decisions. Revising the social protection policy and governance framework. Although in the national and state social protection policy in the 4 states, there were inclusion of PWDs in specific domains, there is need to ensure that the entire domain are inclusive of all PWDs throughout their entire lifestyle, whether it is for children, teenagers, adults, or the aged, or women. In conclusion, as we all reflect through the recommendation, we must all work together, organizations of persons with disabilities, NASCO, state government, other agencies of government, to ensure that all social protection programs in Nigeria include persons with disabilities in all their programs and policies. I cannot end this presentation without specially thanking the Save the Children Nigeria for their technical and financial support that we have received on this project. Your deliberate inclusion of persons with disabilities in social protection program is highly commendable. We look forward to more partnership to increase access and inclusion of persons with disabilities in various programs in Nigeria. Once again, we thank you for being here. And we want to assure you that this research will make a very good read. It's going to expose you to the gaps and also equip you with the recommendations that have been made, such that as you engage with these key stakeholders, you have recommendations to put forward to them as why it is important to ensure the full inclusion of every person with disabilities in all social protection programs and policies. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.